Hiya, I'm Bruce Fummey. Today I'm in my house. My car's broken and I don't have time to take the train down to Parliament Square in Edinburgh. Anyway, welcome to today's episode of This Day in Scottish History. It's the 5th of February 2019. The United Kingdom is due to leave the European Union in 52 days and Brexit fever is everywhere. Symptoms include headaches, dry throat, sweaty palms, sensitivity to light reflected from darker skin tones, and shitting yourself every time you hear the news headlines. Now, if you're a Brexiteer, don't get me wrong, I understand your frustration. The EU is blackmailing us with trade in order to control us when we are a proud sovereign country. I get that. Anyway, let's deal with today's subject, which was something that happened on this day in 1705. First, a quick recap on the 100 years leading up to this. A series of marriages and beheadings, not always unconnected, meant that when Queen Elizabeth of England died in 1603, James VI of Scotland was the next in line to the English throne. And James became James I of England. Now, he seemed like a perfect solution to the problem of succession. He was an adult, he was Protestant, he had children, an heir and a spare, as they say. But it also created problems. The War of the Three Kingdoms, the English Civil War, Jacobite wars, and confusion when using Scottish banknotes in English shops. It's a nightmare. All of these were caused because of the Union of the Crowns. In fact, the troubles in Northern Ireland down to the present day could also be attributed to this event. But let's focus on the Glorious Revolution. You see, James's grandson, also called James VII, was ousted from the English throne when 7 English parliamentarians invited a Dutch guy called William of Orange to invade. Orangemen having sway over the English government? That couldn't happen these days, could it? William was married to James's daughter Mary. Now, when they both died, Mary's sister Anne took over as queen. If you've seen that award-winning film The Favourite, which came out recently, that was Queen Anne. It turns out she was quite an actor as well. If you've seen the film, I don't know anything about the lesbian love thing with the Duchess of Marlborough. I do know that the Duke of Marlborough was leading Queen Anne's troops in the War of the Spanish Succession at the time, so that bit of it is true. So Queen Anne's on the throne. She's the last of the direct Stewart line. So who's going to be king when she dies? In 1701, the English Parliament passed the Act of Settlement. This said that the next King of England and Ireland had to be Protestant, and it's still the rule to this day. That ruled out descendants of James VII, Jacobites, and passed the throne via more junior Protestant line of James VI's granddaughter, Sophia Electress of Hanover. So, did the Act of Settlement settle things? Oh no. The Scottish Parliament said, we see your Act of Settlement, 1701, and we raise you an Act of Security. Scotland's Parliament was set to pass the Act of Security in 1704. Now, essentially, this said that Scotland should get to decide which monarch succeeds to the Scottish throne. Perfectly reasonable. In fact, essential, I'd say. Can you imagine if the European Parliament passed a law that said that they would choose the next British monarch? Jacob Rees-Mogg would be on his feet in Westminster before you could say ridiculous anachronistic caricature. Actually, it did take me quite a long time to learn to say that, so it's maybe not the best of examples, right? But the point is, as the Scottish Parliament were about to pass the Act of Security, Queen Anne's representative blocked the bill. And the Scottish Parliament said, okay, we're going to recall our troops from fighting in your foreign war of Spanish succession, and we're not going to raise taxes for your foreign wars. so the Act was passed. And that's why, on this day in 1705, the English Parliament passed the Aliens Act. It made Scots aliens and subject to tariffs on imported goods. If the Scots wanted to maintain their sovereignty, then they would need to lose the right to free movement. There would be a hard border between Scotland and England. Scots wouldn't be able to trade with English colonies, and they'd lose residency and security of their property rights in England. The alternative? Scotland would be indefinitely stuck in a union that they couldn't get out of without the say-so of the English Parliament. Yet you tell that to Westminster MPs nowadays and they don't believe you. There was another bill passed through the English Parliament at the same time. It was a bill to commence negotiations with Scotland leading to an incorporating union. Do you want a deal? Trade, union. Trade, union. What Scots wanted was to be part of a common market. What they were forced into was ever closer union. Nobody should be expected to give up sovereignty to gain economic benefits of free trade, surely. Unless you're Scottish. Maybe that's why we voted to stay in the European Union. Ha mbeadh dochas gon bí lá má live. Cheery and Rasta.